This weekly rotation, you're going to see perfumes that I've never shown you before on these videos because I've put in to my rotation a whole bunch of samples that have been in my drawers for months now that I just decided that given that I've finished several samples over the last few weeks, I was going to add a bunch more into my rotation. So this week you're going to hear about quite a few new perfumes that I tried for the first time. So keep in mind that my initial impression will be off one full wear. Some days this week I only had the one scent of the day. Usually I do two, but I have also been doing quite a bit of testing for some new perfumes that may or may not come from Miskeo in the near future. But let's get started. So I began the week with a couple of samples. One I have talked about before. It is Chanel Allure Homme or Extrême. I have been enjoying this one. It's just, to me, the quintessential easy reach, knowing it's going to smell pleasant. Lasts okay. I think, do I want a bottle once I finish my sample? Probably no, just because to me it's a real kind of, it feels like more of a utilitarian accessory perfume that, I know that I can just blindly pick up off the shelf, spray it on, and I'll smell good enough. But, I don't want to smell good enough. Then the afternoon was a little bit warmer, so I did wear something that I had not worn before. This is from Essential Parfums. It's Nice Bergamot, or is it Nice Bergamot? I don't know whether it's talking about the town of Nice in France or that it's a very nice bergamot. Yes, it's a nice bergamot. I found it reasonably pleasant, nothing too exciting, just as it's been my experience with several that I've tried from this house. They're all pretty pleasant, well made. It's well made in that they smell good most of the time. Exciting, not so much, but we'll give it a go. I'll wear the whole sample and see where that takes me. And if anyone does know whether it's Nice Bergamot or Nice Bergamot, let me know. I should have done a bit of research. Next day, I went with my bottles. It was a cool morning, so we went with Habit Rouge, EDT. And then in the afternoon, we did have a warm week, and I had not worn this since the last time it was warm here, months ago. This is Brum by Miskeo Parfum, and I realized how much I missed it because it was such a beautiful ozonic, misty coolness about it when I wore it. On Wednesday, another warm day. So I went with what is my favorite petrichor-based perfume. This is My Most Meaningful Relationships by Filigree and Shadow. And then later, as it warmed up yet again, I wore the ever reliable classic Eau Sauvage EDT. This is, in case you're wondering, is a 2020 batch, and it smells fantastic. But please, if you're getting something from around this era or around that time, to me, don't expect it to project for very long, and also maybe 4 or 5 hours max I can still smell it on my skin. But I completely expect it with this perfume. On Thursday, I went with one perfume only, and this is from a new brand that you've already heard me talk about. It's Bougie's. This is the travel spray of Verdant. And how do I describe this? It was really creamy green in the opening. And I don't even know if it's listed in their notes, but what it reminded me of was this creamy fig fruit. And I know that in their note pyramid, there's a cactus note there. I don't know if there's much similarities between fig and cactus, but I'll just attribute it to whatever they were going for there in terms of that note / accord. So it was a very naturalistic, creamy green in the opening, and then as it developed, it almost morphed into this kind of. Put it this way. I'll put it this way. Given that Frederic Malle released a perfume called Synthetic Jungle not long ago, if that name was still available and I wanted to describe the dry down of Verdant, and this is totally in a positive way, Synthetic Jungle would be a really apt synthetic urban jungle. Let's describe it like that. I really enjoyed Verdant as well. In fact, behind Gilded, this is probably my next favorite from that house. On Friday, one perfume, basically just for the morning. Then I did a bit of testing and evaluating in the afternoon, and that was Gucci Guilty Absolute by Gucci. Now, yesterday, I'll just start off with the perfume I wore later in the day, and then I want to talk about my new sample. So I wore my decant of Rochas Moustache 1949. This is the Eau de Toilette cologne style. It has similarities with Eau Sauvage from Dior as well. So I really enjoyed that. And then previously I wore a new sample of a perfume from a brand I know really nothing about. So this was part of a bundle of samples that a really good friend of mine sent to me or gave to me months ago. And one of the samples that has been sitting there not tested or used, and I finally got it out. The brand is Thomas de Monaco. And this particular sample I have is from a perfume called Raw Gold, and this is the Eau de Parfum version. I believe there's also an extract. From what I understand as well, these are limited editions, so there's only a certain amount of bottles made. So I was lucky enough to be given a little sample. They come in a roller ball, so I wasn't able to spray this, and I don't know if that affected my experience of it. I'm not sure. All I could do was judge the smell based on what it was on my skin. So first of all, it's a very strong perfume, had really good projection, and I felt like every kind of note and accord that I smelled from this perfume on its own was really good. Okay. Now, the issue I had based on my first and so far only wearing is that I felt like this perfume just couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Was it a leather perfume? Was it a gourmand perfume? Was it an amber perfume? Was it a really velvety kind of powdery iris perfume? There is a lot going on, and all of those elements on their own were things that I enjoyed. I just really kind of felt like there was too much happening, and all of these notes and accords were really competing for the spotlight, I guess, and that made the experience a little bit underwhelming because I just felt like there was too much going on. There were parts of it just really felt unbalanced to me as a composition that I would be really happy to wear on my skin. It's almost a case of this is really like maximalist perfume as opposed to minimalist, and it's like, I just imagine this scenario where we've got all these really great ingredients and notes and colors to play with. Let's put it all on the canvas and see what comes out. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it's just a little bit too much, or it ends up becoming something that isn't really distinguishable in any way. I just think that maybe there was a missed opportunity to use these particular perfume notes and ingredients in a way that could have created something quite special. So that's off one wear. Okay, so I need to point that out. Then today I wore another new sample from a brand that I've seen a couple of posts about, and I'm actually a little bit intrigued by this brand. The brand is called Headspace, and the perfume that I tried today was one that was called simply Santal. So with no knowledge of anything about this particular perfume, even the brand, I see a perfume called Santal and I have a certain already expectation of what I might be smelling when it's on my skin. And okay, so sadly, I didn't get a lot of nice sandalwood, even though it's there. But what came through for me was, firstly, this really nice velvety rose, accompanied by a lot of saffron. I got a lot of saffron, and in turn, it was part of a quite strong leather accord. So this ended up, to me, the way it developed on my skin, I would describe it as a leather, maybe a rose leather rather than a leather rose, and it was nice. I really enjoyed it. Just not what I was expecting. So, but having said that, it's also probably something that parts of it reminded me of stuff that I've smelled before. So at the same time, as really well made as it seems to be, and the way it performs on my skin, I didn't find anything exciting or too original about it. But we'll see what happens when I wear it for a few more times. I'm going to end my weekend wearing the very pleasant, lovely, beautiful Chanel Boy. It's a beautiful spring day today, and this is always perfect in that type of environment. Okay, that's it. That's my weekly rotation. I'll see you all hopefully with extra videos in the coming week. Just been a little bit busy this past week to not being able to upload other videos, but I'll just enjoy Boy for now, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.